Yeah, that's okay by me.
Okay. So all in favour? Any? Me and Stuart will abstain. I take it, Stuart, you're going to abstain to that.
Yes, I'm staying. Yeah,
he wasn't there. Okay. Well, welcome along to the main item 4, which is the Licensing Act 2003 premises licence application for the Vale Restaurant at 1 Battleswick, Basildon, on pages 9 to 54. So how this will work today is we've got you've got 2 other councillors, Councillor Allen and Councillor Morris here today. We've also got the legal team, Lindsay and Zoe and somebody else, I think. I can't remember the name, but anyway, welcome along to all you from legal. And the officer, licensing officer, Mr. Robinson, Roy Robinson, is here as well. We've got the applicant, we've got a couple of, we've got 1 objector, and I think we've got a couple of supporters as well. So we will hear from the licensing officer shortly to introduce the report, and then we'll ask Mr. Brem, the applicant, for his opening statement, and if he's got any witnesses he wants to call. And then after that, we will then ask the objector or the spokesperson will make an opening statement as well. Following that, we will also do some closing statements as well from the objector and the applicant. And then we'll go into closed session where members will discuss the application. You'll be put into the waiting room and then you'll be brought back in, and then we will give you the decision of the licensing committee. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Mr. Robinson, the licensing officer, to introduce the report.
Thank you, Chairman. On the 9th of June 2022, the Licensing Authority received an application for a premises licence from Mr. Benjamin Bryn. The application and premises plan are including enclosure 2, and they relate to the premises at 1 Battleswick, Basildon. The application has been accepted as being properly made and has been advertised in accordance with the relevant regulations. An area location plan is attached at enclosure 3. The application is for a premises licence authorising the sale of alcohol for the consumption on the premises and the provision of regular entertainment consisting of recorded music indoors and also for late night refreshment indoors. Following the introduction of the Deregulation Act in 2015, no licence is required for recorded music where it takes place on the premises which are authorised by a premises licence or club premises certificate to be used for the supply of alcohol for consumption on the premises between the hours of 8 AM and 11 PM on any day, as long as the premises is open for the sale of alcohol and audience does not exceed 500. Therefore, should the application to sell alcohol be granted, the premises licence holder would be able to provide recorded music between the times of 800 hours and 2300 hours, as the premises capacity is considerably less than 500. The original application was made and the hours requested were for the sale of alcohol Tuesday to Sunday, 1100 hours to 0100 hours the following day. For recorded music, Tuesday to Sunday, 1100 hours to 0100 hours the following day. Late night refreshment from 2300 hours to 0100 hours the following day. And the opening hours for the premises were Tuesday to Sunday, 1100 hours to 0100 hours the following day. Following discussions with officers from Environmental Pollution Control Team, the applicant has agreed to amend the hours to the sale of alcohol Tuesday to Sunday, 1100 hours to midnight. Recorded music indoors Tuesday to Sunday, 1100 hours to 2300 hours. And late night refreshment from 2300 hours to midnight. And the opening hours of the premises from 1100 hours again until midnight. The premises licence, if granted, will contain relevant mandatory conditions as required by the legislation, and those conditions agreed with Essex Police and those offered in the applicant's own operating schedule. Those are shown at enclosure 4. During the course of the statutory 28-day consultation period, the licensing authority received 3 representations against the application enclosure number 5, and 7 in favour of the application, enclosure number 6. No representations were received from responsible authorities. Thank you, Chairman. Have you got any questions?
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson, for that report. Okay, the applicant, Mr. Brim, you've got an opening statement, please. You're on mute at the moment.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can hear you now, sir.
Thank you. I'm grateful for accepting my proposal. I just want to verify everything, that I'm opening up a restaurant that will serve for the community for alcohol and food. It's not a bar. Literally, it's not a bar. It's just a restaurant where people come and sit here and have cocktails and eat their food. Whilst they're eating, they'll be served. If you can see, there's no bar here. There's no seat for bar. I won't have a seat here. So this is just for the general public, and it's a small place. I have agreed to the terms and conditions of the police. The police have already been here to check with the CCTV, the sign. I have done my personal alcohol license as well, and everything is in place. So I'm just here for the hearing, and thank you for accepting me.
Okay, members, have you got any questions at all?
Yes, can I ask the applicant on his the entries he's put in for meeting the licensing directives? Is that an appropriate time?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You've got in your application, you put in for public safety, you've got designated smoking and non-smoking areas. But it's such a small restaurant, there will be non-smoking, is it?
It's a small restaurant, and the corner whereby if you come out from the restaurant, on the left side, there's a place there outside, that's where everyone smokes outside. Where by the side of the restaurant, next to my shop, there's a bar there, there's a chip shop there. Yeah. That's where smokes.
So people who want to smoke and use your restaurant smoke outside then?
Yes, we don't. It's a small place, so it's a restaurant, so it's not like a big place. So there's
it's a room. Yeah, okay. I've got that. Yes. The prevention of crime and disorder. You've put ultraviolet lights in toilets. How does that help?
I didn't put that.
It's got prevention of crime and disorder. CCTV in place, which you've mentioned, and UV lights in the toilets.
I don't know about. Well, okay. The prevention of crime. First of all, I've got a CCTV here. I'm going to if I have to host an event, which I doubt is going to be, but if I have to host an event, I'll have a security guard in place for the day, for the event. But it's like I said, it's a small place, so if I have to host any event, there'll be a security guard here for the day to monitor and regulate things here.
So the ultraviolet lights in the toilets, you're not doing that?
I don't know where that came from.
No, I don't understand that. Okay, also their prevention of crime and disorder, you put car park patrol. What would that involve?
Okay. Right. I don't. Can I see? Because what page is that on the form? Because I'm quite lost here.
Well, I think Councillor Allen. I'm not sure, but he may be referring to the mandatory conditions that the police are putting.
This is the. This appears to be the application in our document here.
Yeah.
It's page 26, and I got the impression that the applicant had filled that in. Describe the steps you intend to take to promote the 4 licensing objectives.
Excuse me, Chairman.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That is the application form. So that Mr. Brim that is what he filled in on there. So that is his application form. So that they are what he actually offered in his obviously not all of them can be turned into conditions, because obviously the Licensing Act doesn't actually, they have to be, we have to take into account that we can't force people to do everything, but so he has mentioned it in his operating schedule. So.
Okay, thank you. Hello.
So he does have to explain his car park patrol then.
No.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It should be able to explain what he's put in there. Yes.
hello. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, go for it.
Yeah.
Yes. Regards to the car park, because I had the neighbors there. They said that the car park is quite small, but it's quite a big place. There's a front car park here, the back and the side. So if it's my duty that if the security guard is there, go a security guard for the day, we have to patrol the car park. That'll be fine by my security guards for the day.
Okay, so I mean, because there were several objectors who were concerned about the car parking around their area. So your security man would sort of deal with those problems. Is that the idea?
Yes, please.
Okay, right.
Okay.
And then you've got in the E, the protection of children from harm. You've got no children allowed on the premises or restrict areas where children are allowed. What is the situation with the children then?
Right. I like the council Roy said earlier on. He said the police were here. The police have been here to the premises to check me with the age whereby people can consume alcohol on the premises. So if parents come with their children and they're allowed maybe a cider for dinner and wine, that is allowed. But without we cannot have underage having alcohol. We've got the sign, the couple of these signs out there.
Oh yeah.
At the bar. As you can see, I've got one at the bar and one at the door. Anywhere that is going to be alcohol safe, we're going to have this signs put up there to ensure that we don't serve alcohol. And if we feel the need, someone looks under 25, we're going to ask for proof of ID to ensure that we don't serve alcohol to underage as well. Thank you.
Okay, so children are allowed on your premises?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Public safety. You've put in use lobbied entrance, but you haven't got a lobbied you haven't put a lobbied entrance in. Lobbying trade, what I was referring to, if you can't see here, it's just hold on, Councillor, so forgive me. Let me see if I'm going to put an extra door. Sorry, let me see if I can get the camera tilted. I can't. Okay. Oh yeah, I've got it here. This is the premises now, as you can see, Councillor. Yes.
So I'm going to have a door, another door put here, as a form of security.
Yes.
So people from coming out will stop the music going outside. And as well, I'm going to have I've had what's it called, a soundproof also put together. But the security wise, I'm gonna have a security guard at the door every time I have an event here. Thank you.
I see. So you're not. So I couldn't understand that. Are you going to put a lobby? Because the drawing that came with this, doesn't shows there's no lobby.
Yes, like I said, I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one here, the front, not a lobby, but sort of like another door.
Oh, so you're going to have two doors then?
Yes, thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Accessive doors. All right then. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Okay, that's yeah, I've got no more questions on that.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Morris, have you got any questions?
I have actually. Can I ask you, have you got designed in there a disabled facility for wheelchair users?
Yes, Councillor, I have. Let me show you. As the drawing proposed, I've done the disabled. There's a disabled door, a disabled entry to come to the restaurant. And I've got a big disabled toilet here, which is yet to be completed.
Well, you know, as a disabled user, I can assure you that that door doesn't look wide enough.
I what I did is I got the measurement from the national, the government disabled, because apparently they've changed the size. So we took the size of the disabled one, the national measurement to go with it to put there. So maybe on the camera, it doesn't look big, but I can assure you that it's quite big. And
Right.
as well, if you look outside, there's a disabled, if you want to use a wheelchair, there's a disabled one here to come straight from here. It's a disabled path here that will bring the wheelchair access straight to the shop. And this is the door. So everything has been put in place, Councillor. Thank you.
Right. Can I just thank you for doing that? Because there's
Thank
an
you,
awful lot of places don't.
I appreciate it. Yeah, because since when I was running the barber shop here before, people used to come and tell me that they're quite happy that there's an entry here with the disabled. And when the disabled comes in here and they want to use the toilet, we normally use through the back door to get in the back gate entry to get into our toilet. But now I've got a disabled toilet in the building. And like if you check the report that was sent, one of the people that not object but was happy. He's a disabled person. He's got one leg amputated, so he's quite happy for us opening this one, because he said there's a lot of places he cannot go because he's disabled and he's on a wheelchair. So I try as much as I can to cater for everybody, not just for few people. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor. Anybody else got any questions before we move on? Lindsay, is it okay to do the supporters after this? Yeah, okay. Okay, we'll do the supporters for the application then. Have we got a Wendy Redden in the room? There we go. You're off mute now.
Sorry.
You're off mute.
Hello, good morning. Sorry, I can't hear anything.
Okay, away you go. We can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I live in this area for 20 years now, and it's a great opportunity to have a Caribbean restaurant in the area, because to community and the interaction with the local community. Sorry, I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, sorry, we're listening to you, but there is some slight breakup. So we heard a bit about the community.
Yeah, it's a great idea, especially after COVID, to have that build into the community, to have that interaction with the community, because COVID have isolated so much of us. And for me and my daughter, we don't have much interaction with the community. So to have a Afro-Caribbean restaurant like this right on our doorstep, it's a bonus for us.
Okay. So that's thank you very much, Mrs. Redden. Thank you. Okay, we've got another one. Narisha Elva. You're on mute.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Okay, if you want to address the committee.
Yeah, basically I moved here from London about 4 years ago with my 2 kids at the time. My eldest son is 16, and every time we have to go to a Caribbean restaurant, sit down, eat, we always have to travel back to London. With the Afro-Caribbean opening right next to me, which is literally 5 minutes away, I'm quite happy about that. So we're actually looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your comments. Okay, that's it as far as that part goes. We'll now come on to the objector for their opening statements, and we should be joined by Mr. Stewart. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Just to confirm where I sit on the objection, Ben, I've known you for quite some time, if I'm allowed to address the applicant, and I respect you immensely. I object to some terms of the license application. I don't object to your doing business and your proposition in any way, and I'm very happy for you to open the restaurant and wish you all the success. My objection, and from what I understand the other objections concerns is the antisocial behavior element of the area that it already exists, which is nothing to do with you. My concern is that having another premises serving alcohol and open late at night will exasperate something that already exists. To give you an example, this Saturday just gone, myself and my children, who are 12 and 9, were unable to get to sleep until after 2 a.m. this Saturday just gone. That was because there was an event at the pub locally, which is behind the application's premises. And there were 3 or 4 different groups of people that left the pub between 11 a.m. and 1:30 that congregated in the area just outside your premises. The area itself also projects sound. The premises has flats above which protrude out of the front, so it creates like a C-shaped environment. I don't know if that comes across with the wording I'm using without seeing it yourself, but any sound that's produced in there from people talking late at night when there's much less road noise is projected out into the houses. We're a stone's throw away, so on a warm evening during the summer, you obviously want to have your windows open at night so that you can comfortably get to sleep. And this Saturday just gone, it was impossible to do so until the last lot of people left that area at 2 a.m. During the summer, that happens occasionally, maybe every 2 or 3 weeks. It's not every weekend, not at all. But when it does happen, obviously it sticks in your mind. There are also a lot of antisocial behaviour issues that occur around that area as well, people congregating to drink. There are drug dealers that use this area and the phone box outside frequently, and I'm sure if you look into police records that will be very obvious. Other than that, the parking is an issue currently. A lot of Ben's previous customers for the barbers don't use the car parks available for the shops, and they park on Battleswick, which is residential street. I myself have no option other than to park on Battleswick. I do park on my front garden, although I don't have a drop curb, so hopefully you don't pass that information on to anyone that deals with car parking. But during the winter, obviously, we don't drive up onto the grass because it will ruin the frontage area of the local residents, and we have no option other than to park on Battleswick. It becomes very difficult for people getting in and out, and a lot of the residents' parking spaces are blocked. Not all the time, but it is an issue. And my concern is that if there are more people using the premises, that would be more of an issue. So to clarify, I am in support of Ben's application. I would prefer, if possible, to bring the licensed hours earlier in the evening, especially during the week when children need to get sleep because they've got school.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stewart. Members have got any questions at all for Mr. Stewart?
Yes, can I object to that? The Vale restaurant application is now for 11 till 24, which is marginally more than the Jolly Friar or the Min 2, but only by half an hour. You know, there's nothing. I mean, we could reduce it to 23:30. I see. for that period, but that's just half an hour. I mean, would that make any difference to you?
If I can respond, comparing this restaurant to the others that exist, you have to consider the location. So this restaurant directly faces out onto houses, a few paces away, I'd say 25 paces away, whereas the Minto and the Jolly Friar have a large parking area in front, a large main road, a large grassed area the other side of the road, and there aren't any houses for more than 500 meters, I'd say, whereas we are 10 to 15 meters away. So there is a big difference when you're comparing this to other restaurants.
Yes, okay. So, but I mean, it's to have a restaurant open till midnight is reasonable. You know, if it's going to have a restaurant, it's not unreasonable to 24 hours till midnight.
I have no suggestions on what I think would be a suitable open hours. It's just because of the children, lots of children, young children that need to be up for school very early and get a good night's rest, having potentially music until 11 p.m. I think you said on the license, in an area where the music sound will be projected out, will cause an issue for children sleeping and getting a good night's rest.
Okay, and the parking problem seems again, as you've heard from the applicant, he would deal with any parking problems if that's possible, or his security people would. I don't know how you'd view that.
I don't know how they would do that. So it would be nice to have something signed, like a sign posted to say, customers, please use the car park at the front of the shops rather than parking on the local residents. I don't know if that's something that can be done. But I don't see how somebody supervising a premises would leave the premises that they're supposed to be supervising to go away and deal with car parking issues. It's not a very logical step, in my opinion. Wouldn't be highly practicable.
Okay, thanks. That's all the questions I've got.
Okay, Councillor Morris. Anything?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's
okay. I just want to point out that there are some other objections, and if naturally all the councillors have read the report, which is in the main report. Okay, thank you very much. We'll go to closing statements. Can I ask the objector to go first, Mr. Stewart?
Just in closing, so I hadn't prepared anything. I apologise. This is just off the cuff. But in terms of the process here, making an objection to the licence had to be done by one, knowing that the licence had been requested and viewing the licence and finding out the details. It had to be made in writing and delivered to the licensing authority locally. But that's in stark contrast to the support messages, which I believe, obviously, there's not been a notice saying if you're in support of our license, please do this. So people have been cherry-picked to support potentially. This is just what I'm assuming is the case. The messages of support also seem to be emails, whereas an objection had to be written. So it's a lot easier to have made a message of support in terms of this application than it was to object, which doesn't seem fair.
Chairman, can I eject?
Yeah, sure. I was just going to call you in.
We accept emails, and it says in writing. It doesn't. It gives their address. We have been discussing recently our notices maybe should add our website address, but we have accepted it. We do accept email objections as well. So
that's fair, but it's not noted anywhere that you accept. It does say in writing, but it only gives a postal address. Doesn't give you an email address to use. So any sane person reading that assumes that you have to write them and deliver them.
Right.
I accept that you do accept them now, but that's not shown in the documents.
Well, can we make sure that we on these appeals that it's clear that the objectors can or the supporters can either writing or emailing or whatever way you want to do it. Thanks.
And just another thing to mention about the people that today, thank you, have supported Ben in his premises. I don't recognise any of you, so I apologise for that. But that also means that I don't recognise you as living in the immediate vicinity. So if you do live in the immediate vicinity, I apologise. But my objection is only about this immediate vicinity and things that would affect the people that live there. So I don't disagree with you. I do think that the restaurant itself is a brilliant idea, but my concerns are that of the immediate vicinity and the people that live here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stewart.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to closing from the applicant, Mr. Bruen.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stewart and everyone here. Thank you for your objection. I'm grateful since you moved to this. I've been here this premises for 11 years now, and since you moved here, obviously I've known you. And anytime you've parked your car or anything has happened, you've come to me as a person to raise the issue to me. If there's anything that I would do, I've helped you. We spoke about it. You are like a friend to me. Like I said, even though I don't live here, I spend most of my time in this building. I come to work sometimes 6 o'clock. You know I'm here. Chairman, if you could allow me to elaborate more, because when the police officer came, we're not allowed to leave the door open. Whilst the restaurant is in session, we're not allowed to leave the door open. Whilst the music is playing, this door must be shut down. So the music, if you want me to play the music here, when you step outside, you don't even hear one single music. The doors are so thick, and the glass, I had to have the glass changed recently, and I put a double glazed glass in there. So the music, for one, don't go outside. I'm not having a bar, secondly, where people can come and sit here and just drink. What I'm doing is something like a restaurant. If you come, you buy your food, you have your cocktail or you have your wine or whatever you want to drink, that's when we serve you alcohol. So regards to that, I think it's only fair that you give me opportunity. Like I said, you've always come to me. When my car got hit more than 3 times at the same spot, I have been parking at that spot for the last 11 years. And I've had about 4 cars of mine hit. I parked there because I don't want to inconvenience the people that live around there, because they know when I park my car there, I'm okay. Secondly, ever since I've been here, if any of my client comes in, I ask them, where'd you park? And they tell me, oh, don't park there, that's someone's drive. They move it. Most people that park in front of someone people's drive is a chip shop, because obviously they are here for about 2 seconds, they come and buy their chips, and they just park anywhere and go. But for my client, if you know me very well, if you know me very well, I always ask my client. They always come, the guy next door always come and ask, is that your client's car? I said, no. Then you go to the chip shop. So obviously, with the parking here on people's drive, I can assure you is not my one. And that's what I'll continue to do, because I have always had a very nice relationship with my neighbors here. I've always been here and supported everyone that's got any needs. If you have issue, if anything happen, you come directly to me. I'm not a stranger to you. Like you said, you've known me, and literally, I'll assist you in any form or shape. If noise is coming down from my restaurant, or people are moving recklessly, you can come to me, Ben, or call me. I think you've got my number. If not, you have my number. You call me directly, and I'll deal with the situation. Because I don't want, this is a small place, you know it already, and I'm not doing anything. I heard last Sunday I was here, and someone told me I'm doing a karaoke show here. I'm like, why would I be doing a karaoke show? It's a restaurant, just like you go to the high street, you go to anywhere, they serve alcohol and food. That's what I'm doing. I'm not doing a dance. If I could show you the place, I'm not doing a dance here, nothing like that. It's just few seats. Council, if you will allow me to show you the place. Thank you. This is the place now. This is the place, and this is the seat. Not a lot of seats, So anybody that comes here, we've got a challenge book here, a record, a challenge book, sales refusal logbook here as well. If anybody comes here and doesn't look right, we ask I to put everything in details. We'll make sure that we'll make this work. I want to work with the community to get it right, because I used to live upstairs the flats. And what you say about the noise, it doesn't happen often, but they do. In the morning, you come downstairs, you see glasses in the front. My restaurant is not going to be making noise, to be honest with you, because it's a closed one. I purposely turn on the music on Sunday, and I stood just outside and I couldn't hear a thing. I turned it very high and I couldn't hear a thing. The next door, the woman above me, I called her, I said to her, please check if you can hear the noise as well. And she said she could not hear anything as well. So the music aspect, I can assure you, you won't hear a thing. And secondly, with a client living at night, it's something that I will personally, because I'm going to be here myself, I'll personally look into it, that everybody lives here quietly, because I have got a sign that live here quietly sign right at the door and right at the back, of where the toilet is. So if someone is going to leave the premises and want to go and use a loo before going out, I can assure you when they see the sign, and they will live quietly, because it's not a bar where people come and drink. And I heard you mention that you've got a child. I have got a 4-month baby. I've got extra 3 kids who are so young. So I'll do everything in my power to make sure that this place is kept to the best of our liking. Everybody have to work together to make it safe. You've known me for a long time. I don't do this kids, drugs, anything like that. I don't come to work playing loud music, neither do my clients. You understand me? Even though it was a barber shop before, I didn't have that issue. I don't entertain drug dealers. I don't take drug users at my premises. And you should know that by now. People come and have their haircut. They don't stay as long. If they come for a haircut, they come and they have their haircut and go. I don't entertain that crowd that will come and sit here and play or do those. I don't entertain it. And this is a way I've lived here. I've been able to stay in this shop for 11 years. Now it's time for a change. So I'll work with you and anybody that feels that there's a problem. The car park issue, you yourself know there's a car park at the back. You yourself, you don't park there anymore because your car got hit and you move your car to another spot, which is okay. So I appreciate what you're saying, and I promise you, I'll make sure that everything that I've addressed will be looked into. And if you have issue, you got my number, you can contact me. It's 1 door away from me, and I'll deal with it for you. If that's okay, Council Chairman, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brim, for that. Okay, committee members now will discuss the evidence and the representations made before reaching a decision. So all parties except the committee clerk and legal will be advised to go, or we'll be putting you into the waiting room whilst the committee members discuss their decision. So we're going to go into closed session now. Thank you.
I'm just going to move everyone into the waiting room. 1 second. Okay, I think that's everyone.